Hey guys, how's it going? It's Trillionaire, and today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin Cash. So, first, a lot of you don't even know what Bitcoin Cash is. Um, I'll just do a quick rundown of that. So, let's get over to my desktop viewer here. And by the way, today is Thursday. This is going to be today's Thursday, August 17th, and this video is going to be a rundown of why Bitcoin Cash is increasing in market value significantly right now. Today we had a run up in the past 1, 2, 3, this being the 4th hour. In the last 4 hours, we've had a run up from $300 to about $405 per BCC or BCH, whichever your given exchange is. So pretty significant. On the daily chart, you know, Bitcoin Cash being very new, just coming out August 1st, we see that it is rebounding to its initial dead cat bounce area, if you can call that a dead cat. Yeah, I call it a dead cat bounce. But yeah, I was holding that $300 level for some time, and now it's actually beginning to peak above its previous recovery height. So that's nice to see. Hopefully we'll see it continuing on that way. But let's get down into some news. And again, I wanted to go over what Bitcoin Cash is. So basically, if on August 1st you were holding 10 Bitcoin, you ended up with 10 Bitcoin Cash. If you were holding your own keys and your own wallet, you end up with Bitcoin Cash. If you were on Bittrex, you're on an exchange that supported Bitcoin Cash at the time, you also received your Bitcoin Cash. I was holding my Bitcoin on Bittrex at the time just because I have a good relationship with the exchange, so I felt comfortable leaving my Bitcoin on there for the split, which also gave me the ability to trade immediately. And as you can see, versus the people who decided to hold their private keys while being a safer move, if I had wanted to sell at that time right away, it would have been some significant profit. Honestly, I wasn't holding that much on there in Bitcoin at the time. I was holding altcoins and whatnot at the time, but I did have a little bit of Bitcoin, so I was able to take advantage. But I digress. Immediately when it came on, you were able to sell for what, 400, 500 or something. Yeah, 500. And then it went up to 1460 the day afterwards, and then of course we saw the major plummet. And let's see here, blocks, cool. Yeah, couple blocks discovered in pretty quick succession there. So yeah, as we can see, Bitcoin Cash is moving right along. Very exciting. We'll see how it fares through the rest of the day, but this isn't just an analysis video. I want to go into some detail here. So I've done a little bit of homework. If I made any mistakes, you know, I apologize. Go ahead and leave a comment and correct me. I certainly do appreciate it. I'm trying to learn just like you guys are, and stay up to date with everything that's going on in the market. So this morning, because of those last 4 hours, we saw Bitcoin Cash jump from the 4th place to the 3rd place in market cap. Significant change. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash rounding out the top 3. That's great. That's all great. But let's see here. So what do we have in news? August 16th, the first. Let me get into one other little dealie here. One moment, please, if you'll stand by. And we'll go to some slides here. All right. So Bitcoin Cash mined its first 8 megabyte block. All right, its very first megabyte block. This is significant because it legitimizes Bitcoin Cash as a currency. This is what they had set out to do, and finally Bitcoin Cash has achieved its first 8 megabyte block. All right, that's August 16th. The first block for Bitcoin Cash was mined on August 1st. So it took 16 days to get to this point. There was a couple 4 megabyte blocks mined in quick succession before this 8 megabyte block. Very exciting stuff. Let me see here. The Santa spam attack. Oh yeah. So I'm going to bring you back to my desktop screen here, and we can see yesterday, August 16th, there was a spam attack, and we can see that on the graph here. This is what the normal Bitcoin Cash transactions look like. Okay, this is the first day, you know, lots of volatility, lots of money moving around, all that. And then we get to August 16th and we see this massive spike. All right, somebody attacked the Bitcoin Cash network and sent 80,000 unconfirmed transactions. All right, that's significant. How did Bitcoin Cash fare? Well, they fared very well. In fact, at the same time, Bitcoin received a significant amount of transactions. I believe it was something like 35,000 unconfirmed transactions or something above the norm. And Bitcoin did not fare so well. And we're going to go back to the slides here and see why that is. Just a moment. Okay, so jumping a little ahead here. All right, well, we'll move on and we'll come back to that. So Bitcoin Cash deposits and withdrawals enabled on Sexio. Sexio. Now we are confident that the network is stable and secure enough and welcome everyone to take advantage of the new feature, says Sexio on August 16th. Big things happening on August 16th, just before this major spike, and they're all positive. The way that Bitcoin Cash responded to that massive spam attack and rapidly was able to eat through it and keep on going, not slowing down the network while Bitcoin was slowed down in the meantime, that's very significant. And the market has responded well to that. We're also seeing more acceptance of Bitcoin Cash. We're seeing that from the exchanges here with Sexio. We're also seeing that with Switzerland's Falcon private bank, who will begin supporting Bitcoin Cash, BCC or BCH, depending on your particular exchange, on August 22nd. So that's just a few days away. And that's part of their asset management expansion. So they're going to be pushing this on their customers, and they have a lot of customers with a lot of money, as you can imagine, being a large Swiss bank. A bank where traditionally people will keep their currency private. Now they will continue to keep their currency private with the crypto world. This is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Now, would I personally keep my Bitcoin Cash with a bank? No. All right, so moving on, we have okay, so we have the Bitcoin fees. All right, fees on Bitcoin Cash are currently 400 times cheaper compared to Bitcoin Core. That's Cash versus Core on August 17th. To put that into dollars, we'll get a little help from our friend Eli Pham, who's a little bit further behind than that last slide I showed you, but still illustrates the point. Bitcoin Core costing $5.30 for me to send anybody a dollar tip, whereas with Bitcoin Cash it costs you 1 cent to send any amount of Bitcoin Cash you desire anywhere in the world. That's significant for a number of reasons. Just going back to the history of Bitcoin and the raising in values, I mean, Bitcoin itself used to have very low transaction fees. Bitcoin used to have very low transaction fees, and there were a number of businesses that were taking advantage of those low transaction fees, facilitating all number of different things. Well, when the fees go up, these businesses can no longer operate because nobody wants to spend $5 in fees to send $1.50 to somebody for a song or whatever. So that's huge. Will it stay that way? That remains to be seen. But stay tuned, and of course I'll give you updates on it. All right, back to the slides. We'll go to Bitcoin being 400 times cheaper. Bitcoin Core, yeah, we saw that. We saw that trillionaire. Geez, banking acceptance. All right, and we've still got, according to Bitcoin ticker, those who wish to make the slower price of Bitcoin. Sorry, I'm reading something. Increase to recording Bitcoin tickers. Okay, so the real reason I think that Bitcoin Cash is currently skyrocketing, and I do mean skyrocketing, all right, 300 to 400. The real reason that's taking place is more to do with the increase. It's more to do with the mining difficulty increase. It's increasing threefold. Geez Louise. It's increasing threefold, okay? And that's according to Bitcoin ticker. It's going to be about 256%. This will weed out those who wish to make the price of Bitcoin Cash lower, those mining Bitcoin Cash just to sell it on exchanges and keep the price low. It's going to weed those people out because it's not going to be nearly as profitable to do so. Now, for those who do wish to actually use Bitcoin Cash, this difficulty increase will likely result in an increase in value for Bitcoin Cash. Otherwise, the profitability just won't be there for miners, and that's not a good thing. Right now, Bitcoin is something like 64% more profitable to mine than Bitcoin Cash, and that's about to switch. It's in a few days, by the 21st, once this difficulty takes place, the threefold increase in difficulty, it will now likely be more profitable to mine Bitcoin Cash, or at least it's going to be closing that gap, and it's going to close it significantly. That will definitely represent, or more than likely represent, an increase in value, and I believe that's why we're seeing this here today, but that remains to be seen. I mean, for all I know, it could go up and go down right now and never come back. So obviously this isn't financial advice. This is just one man who's done a little bit of research, conveying to you the most up-to-date news I possibly can. I'm trying to leave out the hyperbole. Now, with all that said, that's great. That is fantastic for Bitcoin Cash. I love it. But there is some concern, and the concern is coming from who's doing the mining of Bitcoin Cash, and we don't really know who's doing the mining. Right now, 90% of Bitcoin Cash is being mined by one group. They have 2 wallets, and they have thus far mined over 10,000 Bitcoin Cash. It's huge. Basically, for every Bitcoin Cash that gets mined, it's like 90% of it is going to one group. All right, it's huge because the Bitcoin fork happened with, it only needed 50%, 51% consensus to split. Well, the same thing can happen with Bitcoin Cash, and here we have 90% of the hash power coming from one group. All right, and they can decide to split at any time they want. They could just decide to do it. Now, that said, we don't know what the motives are for this group. We don't know if it's their intent to hold on to it and have it go up in value. We don't know anything. I mean, for all we know, these same people, they didn't just get their hash power out of nowhere. Obviously, they've been mining something. For all we know, these people could be holding a significant amount of Bitcoin, and they have some sort of grand scheme, and Bitcoin Cash is, just a piece in it. They're holding 10,000, and whenever that they want, they could crash the damn market. Well, at the same time, whenever they want, they could just continue to hold, which is what they're doing right now. We haven't seen any Bitcoin Cash leaving these two wallets. They're just accumulating and nothing's going out. So yeah, right now the price was being held at 300 for some time. Obviously, the whales were helping it stay there. They like that level for whatever reason. Maybe they wanted to acquire more Bitcoin Cash. That's typically what happens when there's a price stabilization after a dramatic fall. And that is what we saw. So 300 may have been a good accumulating point for them. And if Bitcoin Cash does end up taking over the lion's share of the market from Bitcoin, which is a real possibility despite what everybody says, or what people who have millions of dollars invested in Bitcoin may want you to believe, it is a real possibility that Bitcoin Cash could go ahead and take over the role of #1 in the market, which to me means that we have a three-headed monster, being Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. Now, it's way too early to suggest such a thing, especially with Bitcoin Cash being only at 6.5 billion. It's way too early for that. But the possibility is real. It's there. And the simple fact that Bitcoin Cash holds more of the traditional values that Satoshi Nakamoto helped to instill than the current Bitcoin does, aka it's more of a classic real Bitcoin than Bitcoin is, that's significant. And that's why I myself am personally holding Bitcoin Cash, full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, always. All right, so we'll go ahead and close this window. And anyways, that's about all I've got for you folks today. I appreciate you coming by. Please go ahead, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about Bitcoin Cash. Will the price skyrocket? Will it crash? Are you holding any Bitcoin Cash? Do you think I should shave? I think I should shave. What do you think about the mining group BitClub Network, in control of 90% of the hash power? What do you think their motives are? Are they going to crash the market? Are they going to hold on to it? Let me know in the comments below, please. Of course, please leave any other comments you may have about the quality of my video, how I may be able to improve flow. This is all new to me, so I'm doing my best. And I'm trying to increase every video, increase the efficiency of every video. But yeah, thanks. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell so you get immediate updates from me when I do live streaming. As the live streamers who do show up in the first 5 minutes of the video will receive a cryptocurrency of my choice, and usually that's going to be whichever cryptocurrency I'm focusing on for that particular video. So for a video focusing on Bitcoin Cash, obviously it's going to be Bitcoin Cash. And that said, I do have all the links for different things I was talking about in this video. I will be linking to relevant news articles below, so you can kind of do some of your own reading and get a little bit better understanding for what's going on in the market with Bitcoin Cash. And also have donation links for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin below. Anyway, folks, Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and bye.